Okay, we are live. Good to have you here. Hello,
Good
everyone.
afternoon.
First of all, I would like to apologize for being 5 minutes late. We had to uh, we have to just be here today because there were
Yeah.
a lot of things that would have stopped this session, but my guest ensured that she has to be here today. So thank you so much, Ma, for being available today.
Thank
Okay,
you for
so yeah, yeah. This is conversation with Utility Bright, and our goal is to have conversations with business leaders, entrepreneurs, and experts in different fields. So we'll talk with them, get to know what they do, they share something with us, and our audience learns from it. So today's session, I have the ever inspiring, ever amazing startup lawyer herself. So if you're a business owner and you're on Facebook and you don't know her, who have you been following? So she's here today. So I would like you to introduce yourself so that our guests can get to know you. I know they already know you. People are already joining as you can see. So I know they know you, but for formality's sake.
okay. Thank you. I don't have much to say by way of introduction. You've mentioned my name, and you've mentioned I'm a startup lawyer. I'm also a TEDx speaker. I am an international speaker. I've worked with startups in different industries. I'm over 10 industries and counting, and it's important. Hopefully, during the conversation, um, we'll get to have a consensus and agreement on what we mean when we say, oh, when you hear Barina say she's a startup lawyer. Hopefully, during the conversation, we get to really understand what that means. I'm a family oriented person. I love family, and by God's grace, I have two kids, my husband Alexia Nacho, who some of you might know also. Um, what else is there to know about me?
Whom you have turned to Mr. Okoro.
What? What
You've
you
turned
say?
him to Mr. Okoro.
Oh,
You've turned on that.
yeah. Yeah, so let me just let me start adding content creator to my name now because it's beyond
Because he
writing
creates a lot
about
of
how
content.
business for me now. I'm always thinking about innovative ways to pass my message across. So that's pretty much all there is to know about me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ma. So we'll just jump right into the conversation because of time. So let's talk about startup because I read your post a few minutes ago. You said something that a startup is not a struggling business or a business
Mm,
that just started. So
mm,
most persons don't understand what we mean by startup. They say, okay, this business just started last week, so they are a startup. We have been here for 10 years. We are no longer a startup. So, or they say this business is struggling, it's a startup. So I think you
mm.
need to share more light on that. Which business or when can a business be called a startup?
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak on this particular issue. So, of course, generally speaking, if you literally just started your business, you literally just register with the CAC, you literally just conceive the idea, you generally want to say, oh, there is startup. However, um, startup in the sense that we mean it, right, has to do with businesses that are technology driven, businesses that are out to disrupt, innovative businesses that are solving an actual problem with innovative solution model, right? And that's why it is possible to still be like 7 years in business and you're still referred to as a startup. And in the post you mentioned, I said for context, Stella is a startup, Paystack is a
Yeah,
startup.
I read that.
Um, Lots of the fintech companies you can mention are startups. Are they called startups because they are struggling or because they are still new? No. In fact, most of those other
Oh,
businesses that are just starting, they are just small businesses. They are small, traditional. So it is your model. It is the disruptive nature of your solution, and that's why you can come into a saturated space. But because of how you went about building your own solution, it makes you a startup. It takes you away from the regular businesses, and that's why even the Startup Act. So there is an act called the Startup Act. Right now, there is a startup portal where you can go and register as a startup. There is a criteria, which means that even the regulators know that when they say startup, they know the kind of businesses they are referring to. Do you understand? They are tech-driven businesses. So that's it about being a startup. And so when I call myself a startup lawyer, or when I introduce myself a startup lawyer, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are. I'm saying that I'm a lawyer for struggling and small businesses. I'm saying that I'm the lawyer you go to if you're building innovative products, you're building innovative solution, you're a tech business, and you want to understand the legal aspect of what you're building, then, and that's a very special calling if you ask me. Yeah. Okay, so I think you're frozen. Can you hear me? Gentility, you're frozen. Um, okay. So it looks like my host is having network issues. I'm not the host, so I can't even see any comments or anything. But let me just try to hold it down for him till he comes. Just not to go ahead of me, because I'm sure that he has a couple of questions he probably wants to ask me. So I'm not sure whether to continue or just to leave and come back. I'm not sure whether to continue or just to leave and come back. Because it's not my show. So I wouldn't want to take over when he's apparently having network glitch. Okay, I think he's trying to come back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're back.
Thank
Looks
you so
like
much.
your network is
Yes,
not
sorry.
stable.
Yes, yes, sorry. I was not back. So you guys trying to clear the air on what a startup is. And he said something that I got said a business that is technological driven, a business that is out to disrupt, a business that is innovative. I hope I got this right.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fantastic. So now you already laid a good foundation. I would like us to share more on what the goal of this of today's conversation is to learn what every business or that new business owner should do to protect him or herself or to protect the business legally. So, what are the things that you think this new business owner should do? So now that they already know, okay, my business is not a startup, my business is not a startup. You already cleared the end. So, what are the things you think a business should do? When the idea hits you, okay, register this business. What are the next steps to take to be able to protect your business legally?
Okay. So the next, whether you're a startup as we have just established, or you're a regular small business, um, one of the things you need to do is to set a clear roadmap, right,
Okay.
on how to navigate the legal side of your business. And so for you as a startup, or as a regular small business, the first thing you want to do, and this is where I like to start from, is to identify your stakeholders. In fact,
Okay.
I like to say that the process for starting a business starts before you even register the business. If you followed me enough, I always say it that if you're building a business, the first thing to do is not to go and register the company. That's a lot of mistake I see a lot of people do. An idea drops in their head, and the next thing they want to do is to go and quickly register the business with the CAC, especially when they have other people that are bringing on board, right? So it's like you've already taken a decision blindly on things like equity or number of shares to own or the main thing that you're supposed to agree upon. And I like to say, because this is a time where we're preaching collaboration and partnership. So, but if you're going to be partnering or collaborating with anybody, you want to be sure that you're doing it the right way, right?
Okay.
You want to be sure that you're doing it the right way. So if once you've taken a decision that you are starting a business, first thing first is identify your key stakeholders. Now, everything that has to do with protecting yourself and securing your interests as a business owner will start from how you manage the relationship between you and your stakeholders, first of all. So, who are the stakeholders you want to ask? The stakeholders are people who have vested interest in the business you're about to do or you're starting or that you've done already, right? And because of this vested interest, there is need for a system that helps you to manage your expectations and your relationship with those stakeholders, because the acts of those stakeholders can affect the company one way or the other. The act or omission or commission, whatever they do, may affect the company. And if the company does something, it may also negatively impact the stakeholder, which will in turn affect the company. Let me give you practical example. Some example of stakeholders. So you have regulatory bodies. Right
I was
now,
coming to that.
except if you're not really paying attention to what is going on, you know that CBN, CAC, and some other regulators are on the, like, they're literally pressing the neck of startups, especially
Yeah.
fintechs, right? So right now, CSC says, oh, if you're going to register a company, before you before you can register, unless you have foreign partner, the foreign partner is maybe you have a friend who is in Ghana. As far as you don't have to be white, so long as you're not a Nigerian, you're not
A
a normal
foreigner.
citizen, you're a foreigner. So even if you like come from Togo or Benin Republic, you're a foreigner. And
Yeah,
what
a
CSC is
foreigner.
not saying is that what CSC is not saying is that before you can register that business, you need to have at least 100 million share capital. This is
Mm.
something that just about 2 weeks ago, you could still register a company with foreign participation with 10 million shares. Now that is an update. So, so if you're a new business owner and you're looking to maybe enter into strategic partnership with a foreigner that's going to help you do something, and this is whether or not you're a tech business or your regular business, so long as you want a foreigner on board already, you should now know that okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And that's why in helping you plan how you relate with your stakeholders, I always like to say start from regulators and regulatory compliance, because a lot of the times, even the industry you want to play in as a business owner is regulated by one law or the other. There is no business that is a standalone. You're either interfacing with general regulators like CAC, like CBN, like FIRS. Okay, CBN is
Mm-hmm.
not general per se, but FIRS, every company is required to pay taxes, one tax or the other. Every company must be registered with CAC. So even while complying with them or even while identifying them, you now need to know, okay, do I have the capacity to meet with this particular requirement? If I don't have the capacity, can I, because a lot of what people do again is there's something I call regulatory roadblock. You've blindly jumped into a particular industry or space. You did not pay attention to the fact that, oh, before you can even play in this particular industry, you need to meet this criteria. Now you register the company because sometimes the CS will allow you to register, but you're unable to operate, to function because you do not have that regulatory compliance. So your regulatory bodies are one of the people one of the stakeholders that you're going to have to pay attention to. Now, when it comes to the regulators as a stakeholder, their needs are continuous. Like you don't stop. There's need for continuous compliance, and that's why you can wake up one morning, a business was legit before, by the next day it has been banned. You need to
Bang.
always be on the lookout for changes in regulations, so that you can accordingly comply or quickly pivot if you need to. Another regulator or another stakeholder you want to look at is your co-founders or your business partners. Again, if you're building a startup and you're going to be using other people, you're going to be hiring a CTO, a COO, and you're going to be giving them shares. Before you give them shares, have a conversation with yourself. So I'm already answering the question: how do we protect ourselves as business owners, right? So have a conversation with them, and all of this thing is before you register the company, because once you've
Really?
registered, it is deemed that you've already agreed on whatever shares, so that you're not now randomly issuing shares. Somebody says, "Oh, I'm interested in your business. I like your business model. Let's do business together." You've not verified the background of the person. You don't know if you're fit to be co-founders. You don't know if he has the expertise that you need, and then you're not
Are
even
you?
looking at what he's bringing to the table. These days, I hear that a lot of men are asking women, "What are you bringing to the table?" Be asking your co-founder too, "What are you bringing to the table?"
Let's just see
Because
that.
you know
Everybody
that's
must bring
that's the
something
way.
to the table.
What do you say?
Everybody must bring something to the table.
Exactly, exactly. You can't come and just be occupying space. What are you bringing to the table? Unfortunately, when it comes to your business, I mean, I said that on a lighter note, but it is what it is. If not, you're going to have issues with your co-founders. You're going to be saying A, he's saying B. You realize that you're not on the same page. You're not vibing. There is a startup that recently collapsed. It's called Pivo. It's a female-led startup, and the co-founder is also a female. Part of the major reasons why that startup collapsed, according to verifiable sources, is co-founder dispute, conflict. And that's why me personally, if you come to me and say, "Bernard, I want to start a company, a business with someone, we're having these conversations," first of all, I tell you, please, before you go ahead to register the company, even to do a founders agreement, have what I call a hard talk session. Have a conversation with yourself. Agree on everything. What is it bringing to the table? Who will be making this decision? Can you do another business? And the conflict was in respect of whether or not you can start a similar business. These are things you need to get out of the way. So if you ignore all these things and you now jump to, "Oh, I'm about to start a company," then you go and register a company with the CAC on your own, your is the case. Do you understand? Then you also want to look out for your employees. They are also key stakeholders in the company. So everything that has to do with securing your interests or protecting yourself as a company starts from you identifying your stakeholders and appreciating what role they play in the business. Because it is
Okay.
in understanding their role that you know, okay, if this person is an employee, I need to make sure that he cannot just off and leave one day. I need to give him a proper contract of employment. I need to clearly state the terms. He's going to be using my office gadgets. He's managing my social media pages. I need to clearly tell him how he can use my social media pages. I need to establish boundaries. He cannot pass his personal account number to clients or to customers. These are the ways you protect yourself. But if you're unable to say, "Oh," if you're unable to get to that point where you identify these people as your stakeholders, you will not know what to protect against or what to
Okay.
insist on. And that's why your best bet is to actually work with a lawyer. I will always say it: work with a lawyer, and not just any lawyer, but work with a lawyer that understands business and how these things work, so that they
Yeah.
can guide you. You can learn from, you can be confident that, okay, they will help you do things the right way while you focus on growing your business. Then your investors, your strategic partners, your consultants, even your clients, they are your stakeholders. They have vested interest. If your major client decides to leave you one day because maybe there was something you did not do right, or you did something and it affected them negatively, they complain and you did not make amends, they decide to carry their business elsewhere, their money elsewhere. Who has lost? It's not you, the company. So you can
Yeah.
see
Sure.
that an act that you committed affected that particular client, and the very act of the client leaving and saying, I no longer want to do business with you, has an impact on your company. You've lost money.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be able to pick who your stakeholder, identify your stakeholders, then analyze. There's no time. Otherwise, you would have been seeing, okay, these are the possible risks that could come up when you're dealing with this stakeholder, and this is what your response can be. So that's that.
No, you can go on and on. It's been amazing. I've learned
As
a
it is,
lot
yeah.
already. I know you have somewhere you need to go, so I'll quickly round off. But before you go, let's do a little bit on regulatory compliance. How does it
What do you
affect
say?
business? Regulatory compliance for
Mm.
a business. How does it affect our business positively? Because we talked about it, but we didn't really spend more time on it. But we want to know, how does it affect our business positively? Is
Is
that
there any
something we should?
benefit to regulatory compliance? Is that what you're
Yes,
asking? Okay,
yes.
yes, there is actually a benefit to regulatory compliance, because when you are compliant, it gives you the confidence to go all out and explore and market, knowing that you're in compliance with whatever. Okay, are you still here? Okay,
Yeah, I'm here.
so it gives you the confidence to go all out, to really do
Okay.
everything you're supposed to do. Let me give you an example. If you're starting a food business, right? You're processing a particular food. Let's say you recently started to package processed cassava, maybe gari, right? Gari is
Okay.
processed. Any food you process at all, you have to get NAFDAC for it. Now, if your product is not, you don't have NAFDAC license for your product, will you be very loud with your marketing?
I don't think you will.
You won't be. You won't have the confidence to do everything you want to do. In fact, there are
Mm.
some stores that will not accept to list your product on their shelf without NAFDAC number. Say you want to start a water factory business, of course you need to have your NAFDAC number. Otherwise, you'll be hiding to sell.
Mm.
So there is a lot of benefits that comes with complying, personally for you as a business owner. Then number two, with compliance, you can actually, in fact, compliance can be another source of revenue, even for you as a business, especially if you can sublet or sublicense your compliance. And I'll give you this example. In the fintech space, there are so many fintech companies, right? But
Yeah.
not all of them have direct CBN licenses to process payments and all. So a lot of them
Really a third party.
leverage, yes, third party infrastructure. These infrastructures will mean whether their technology or their license, you enter into a strategic partnership. So of course, let's say you're the one who has the license, you will monetize that, obviously. You're not
Yeah.
you're not a Father Christmas. So people cannot just come to you and say, let me use your license, let's be able to do this. Before you release your API or whatever it is for them to start to leverage. I don't want to mention direct names, but one of the popular fintechs that I use and almost everybody uses, they are not the ones who have the license. They are leveraging another major fintech's infrastructure.
Mm.
So it happens all the time. There's a lot of benefits to compliance, actually.
Okay.
And of course,
Fantastic.
when you look at complying even with the CAC or complying with tax regulations, there's also a whole lot. There can be incentive. For example, now CAC is saying file your annual returns, otherwise your company will be delisted. Of course, if you file it, you reduce the possibility of the CAC delisting your company. But if you don't file your annual returns, you stand the risk of losing your company. So, as much as there are penalties for non-compliance, there are also
Then
benefits for compliance as well.
okay, okay. Before I let you go again, I've said that before. So let's just run down the steps you mentioned to legally protect your business. We talked about stakeholders. We talked about regulatory bodies. We talked about co-founders. And we talked about investors. Right? Am I missing
Yeah.
anything? And these things need to happen before you register the business.
Yes. So you need to first of all understand what kind of business you're doing. Do you
Okay.
understand? What is the business you're doing? What industry are you playing in? Once you've identified the industry, okay, I want to go into farming business. I want to I want to go into um what's it called? EdTech. I want
Okay.
to I want to be even if it's to create courses and sell. This is the model I want to use. Now, what do I need to make this happen? You've already understood your industry. You're not setting up a school, so there's no need to go and get education license from the state government, right? But if you're setting up a school, of course you might need to, and I mean an actual school, oh, not
Yeah.
not
Not the
those online
online kind of
schools
school.
that we not an online academy. Even with that, self, the fact that your name will not have academy, there's a and that's why I talked about compliance. CSC says if your school, if you're going to have any business that has academy, that has this, that has that, it has to be registered as a company. So already you've already took in your head that okay, this is what I need to comply with. Then to build your edtech company, I'm going to need a tech guy. Do I have am I a coder? Can I build this platform myself, or do I need to hire somebody? Or okay, I'm not hiring, I'm not building anything. Can I leverage another person's platform and use? So when you understand your business, you will know all the things that you needs to be done, and then you will know how to connect the legal side of things. So
Wow.
there's no harder, there's no one way fits all when it comes to putting legal structure in your business or protecting yourself. You just first of all need to identify the business you want to start, the area, the industry you're playing in, then pick your key stakeholders. Who are those you're going to be interfacing with? And then set out what needs to be done. That's about that.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I know we cannot get everything in this 30 to 45-minute session. There's a program you've been advertising, the BLS. Did I get it right?
Business legal structure program, BLS.
Exactly, exactly. Tell us about it. Who leads it? How can we be a part of it? Because I know they
Okay.
want to get to talk to you one on one. They want to get to protect their business. So that's the goal for this program. So how did they come in? So tell us about the BLS.
Okay. So the BLS program is an implementation-based program. It is for business owners who want to cover their legal basis. They don't want to make mistakes while building their business. So what we do is you're not just coming to learn and go. You're not coming to learn and go. We're actually going to be doing some things for you. So you see how I
Okay.
identified your stakeholders, regulatory compliance. BLS program is an all-round program because part of what you're getting in the program is compliance. So we're
Okay.
going to do a new company registration for you when you join BLS. You're going to do a new trademark registration for you, and that's necessary for intellectual property protection. If your business model based on your object clause, if you've been needing SCUM registration, that special control unit against money laundering, we're going to do
Okay.
that for you as part of what you get. We're going to do your initial tax registration and tax pro max registration for your business, so long as you're not more than 6 months, right? And all of this is part of the program fee. Aside from the compliance, we're now going to look at your business and then decide, look at your processes, your operations, look at your stakeholder list, and then come up with 4 bespoke contracts. So if we have
Okay.
said that you need to have a founders agreement, the legal team will actually prepare the founders agreement for you, but they'll take you through the process of that hard talk session that I talked about with your co-founders. They'll take you through the process of identifying your weakness, your strengths, and even deciding on what you're bringing to the table. So we can now use what you're bringing to the table to gauge how much you should get in terms of equity. And then we will now prepare the founders agreement, shareholders agreement for you. So, and then any other document you need, but not more than 4. And you also get access to a portal on Seller, our academy on Seller, where we have pre-recorded courses on different. So all of these things that I said, they are being rushed. on the seller platform, on the academy platform, you would actually find all the courses there. They are listed. We also have what I call weekly live expert sessions. So we invite different experts. We can invite experts on tax, on fundraising. We can invite experts on finance management. We can invite different experts on intellectual property, dispute resolutions, and they take you through the process. Like it's a Q&A session, just like we're having. The person is teaching you, and then you can ask practical questions relating to your business. And then you get access to our document bundle that contains 15 different contracts and agreements. So it is actually a program for people who are really building actual businesses, but who want to have the support of a legal team, right? So that they can really focus on their business. The cost for the BLS program, and BLS program is for 3 months, by the way. This particular one, the cohort one is we're rounding off with cohort one this month because we started since October 1st. But the cohort two is starting on the 1st of March and to end 31st of May. There's already a paid wait list, and people are already in the BLS program cohort two wait list. He's gone again, but hopefully he's there. So the cost for the BLS program is 500,000 naira, and it covers everything that I have mentioned. We also have a 250K plan. It covers some of the things I mentioned, but it does not include the compliance part. But you get 3 months of legal support from us. So within the 3 months, if you have need for legal opinion, legal advice, you can actually jump on the book a session with the legal team, and we get to attend to you. And yes, so if you're actually building a serious business, the BLS program is where you want to be, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong with the legal aspect of your business, and eventually it might affect your overall business unless you have a solid legal team behind you. And that's what we're offering through the BLS program. So it seems like I am the only one who is on the call. Seems I'm the only one who is on the call.
Okay, are you still there? Okay, I think she's not here again. We were listening to Barrister Bainada. She's a startup lawyer, and she was our guest for today's conversation with Utility Bright, and she has shared a lot on what a startup is, regulatory compliance, how you can identify a startup, and what makes you a startup. So she said a lot about it and how you can legally protect your business as a startup or as a business owner. So she has shared a lot, and it's been amazing what I've come to learn today, and I know you've learned a lot. So she has a program for business owners, for entrepreneurs, that you can leverage, and build better, protect your business better. So you can reach out to her on Facebook, you know, reach out to her via Messenger, and she will get back to you on how you can take the next step, because she's good at her job. And if you're looking for that lawyer to help you navigate the online space, I think she is the perfect person for you. So thank you so much for your time today. Sorry about the network glitch here and there, but I believe we've been able to make progress today to cover something today. And I know that you've learned a lot. And for everybody who's going to watch the replay later, I know you will learn a lot too. So we are available to respond to your questions. If you have a question, drop it in the comment section. We will be available to attend to that. I look forward to seeing you again next week Friday. So have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining us today.